Multi-leaders are very useful in AutoCAD and follow similar conventions to dimensions. They're on the Annotate tab, and you can see we have a Leaders panel. And if I click on this arrow here, I can set up a leader style. Now that's what we're going to do here. We're going to click on New, and the new style name, we'll call it Room Numbers, because that's what we're going to use the multi-leaders for, like so. I click on Continue now, and I've got the option now to set all of my settings for my multi-leaders, similar to dimensions. So leader format here, what we're going to do, it's going to be a straight leader. The color by layer, we want it to go on the DIMS layer. Line type, again, by layer. So it's very similar to what we did with the dimension style. Symbol, closed filled, I'm actually going to use a dot for that. Notice that changes in the preview there. Size is going to be 2.5 millimeters, and the break size, that's here, this little bit here, is going to also be 2.5. I then go to the leader structure tab. Maximum leader points is 2, so that's going to be the start point and that point there, and then this is what they call the landing distance. So the landing distance there, I'm going to set that to 5 millimeters. Looks a bit weird at the moment, but once we've got the annotative scaling working, it will look much better. Content. Now at the moment it's multi-line text, mtext. I'm going to change that to a block, and I'm going to change it to a slot, that one there, and I can apply a tag number inside that slot. Now these are actually AutoCAD blocks that are predefined in AutoCAD. You don't need to create these. You can use your own blocks. I'm just using default AutoCAD ones. So I click on OK there now. I select room numbers. I can right click here and set it as the current style. I then click on close. And what I'm going to do now is place a standard multi-leader here. So I click on multi-leader. I pick a point where I want the multi-leader to start. So I'm going to place it in this office here. I'm going to left click and drag that up into the corridor, and the lander location is going to be there. Now the tag number is what I'm going to call this room, and it's going to be R1, room 1. I press enter. I've now placed that leader. Now I need to make it annotative, just like my dimensions. So I click on it, I right click, and I go to properties. Now you could make these annotative from the outset, but what I'm trying to get you used to here is the ability to set something as annotative by clicking here in the properties panel and saying yes. And then what we need to do is add the annotative scale. So in this case it's on the GA, the general arrangement, so we need a 1:100 scale added. So we click on add, 1:100, and OK it. We then OK it again. What I'm going to do now is close the properties panel and go to the A3 landscape tab, and there's our R1 in our viewport. Now we can tweak this. It's obviously overriding that wall at the moment, so what we want to do, pan and zoom, and we'll double click inside the viewport now, and we're now looking through the viewport. I can edit in model space. So now I can see that my R1 is a bit big there, so what I'll do, I'll click here, and I'll click on this grip here, and I can move it across a little bit to about there. I don't want to sort of upset the corridor or the walls there, but if I click about here, you can see now when I hit escape, it's obvious that that's room 1. It's still on the wall there slightly, but it's not impinging on the text. You can see that that is room 1 there now on the GA. So I double click outside the viewport now to deactivate it, and there you go. I've placed my multi-leader, I've made it annotative to the general arrangement scale of 1:100.